Hey, what's up, everybody? We're back. Another episode of the Asking for a Friend podcast. We are here. We got a special guest with us.
Who we got with us?
Yeah, we got Bree with us.
Hey, girl.
Yeah.
It's my favorite,
It's happening.
guys.
It's happening.
Oh my gosh,
Yeah,
this is
yeah.
crazy. This is really wild.
Uh-huh.
How did this happen? When did y'all what? This is crazy.
It was just by happenstance. We had just seen you where you was at, and then
That was just
we
like,
got to get
hey,
her on this
pull
couch.
for sure.
And one thing about me and two things for sure, I'm a pull up
Absolutely.
every single time.
Every time.
Absolutely.
Okay, real quick, give us a brief, who is Bree? Who is this person?
Oh
Where she
my
come from? Who is
gosh,
that?
who am I? Where do I come from? Okay, well, I can start with basic stuff. I'm Brianna. I am from Dallas. I was born in Dallas, but I was mostly raised in Plano, Carrollton area, and then I spent majority of my life in Little Elm. So I really say I'm from Little Elm, just because wherever you grew up in middle school is where you're from. And you can argue with me down. Wherever you grew up in middle school and you spent the majority of that time there, that's where you're from.
Okay.
You became a real person there.
See, my middle school and my elementary was the same spot.
So then that's where you're from.
Yeah. Okay. Good. What so you're from the city, you're from the area, right? How did Bree become who Bree is? Is this I just always been who I am? Tell the people what if they were to meet Bree, what can they expect? Who is Bree as a person?
Oh, I think who I am today is not who I was.
Okay.
Earlier. So if you were to meet me at maybe I'm 27 now. So if you had met me at 2021, I probably would have been a lot more aggressive than I am. So yes, I'm aggressive. Hello. Mind your business.
Just put the pause on them.
I would, but I would be I think I would do it for attention more than I would do it because that's just who I am.
Gotcha,
And that's just,
gotcha.
I would think I have to be turned on per se, I'm a machine. So I kind of treated myself like I had to be a certain way no matter where I was at.
Almost like performing.
Yeah, consistently.
Yeah.
And so now, today, if you were to meet me, I am who I am. If I'm not really
100%.
rocking with it for real, you will see it on my face.
What you see is exactly
what you get.
Uh-huh.
But I think some people are very surprised when they find out that I'm more eloquent than I come off as. So I love to play around. I'm very unserious, but when I am serious, I'm in there.
I love it.
I'm not playing.
I love it. I think it's so good because you represent a large demographic of people that I'm not in ministry. I'm not in you know what I mean? But you're very active within the church. You do things, but you also have an ear to culture and what's happening and the things that are
I try.
that are floating around. You know
I'm
what I mean?
chronically online, but other than that, I'm pretty cool. Yeah.
Yeah. I love it. So I think that there's a couple of things that we want to touch on, but I want to get to this.
I'm scared.
Okay. This is Asking for a Friend podcast.
Anytime he turned them shoulders to you, squares them.
Because I'm excited.
Yeah.
Be prepared.
It's okay. It's
I'm
okay.
excited.
We're gonna start off kind of easy. Honest truths. Okay, it's a segment where we give your honest truths. Unpopular opinions. Christian edition.
See, and I was like, you got to be specific.
Yeah.
You've got to be specific. Unpopular opinion: we should not have chairs in worship night.
Ooh. Okay.
I said what I said. There should be no chairs. What are we sitting for? If you're absolutely physically able to stand up in the presence of the Lord. It's not that hard.
Okay.
It really isn't. Or sit on the floor.
Okay.
Ground yourself. Be with him. Dwell. Now, if you're pregnant, old, physically unable,
That's what I was about to say.
I
get
was
a
like,
chair.
dang.
I think chairs should be available, but I think everyone having access to them opens up a level of comfort that we're all used to.
That's fair.
Okay.
And
That's
so
fair.
I'm just if I've gone to a lot of worship, a lot of them in my life, and a lot of people are like, get uncomfortable, but I'm in a nice chair.
That's facts.
So I really don't have
I
to.
do want to lift up my hands and worship right
I'm
here.
really comfortable here.
I feel
I'm gonna
that.
stay there.
And that's
I
a
feel
hard
that.
posture, low key, but that's a whole different
That's a
I
whole
think
different
about the
conversation.
temple back in the day with no chairs at the
There
temple.
were no chairs
You
in
just,
the temple.
Yeah, you
came
just
in.
showed up. Yeah, and if you needed to sit, you sat on the floor.
And I
Now-
know people calf muscles was crazy
Oh
strong.
man,
Oh.
they were just way
Not to
more
mention
athletic
all
than
the
we
wa-
are now.
Yeah, they did a whole bunch more than that's.
Yikes.
But I get what you're saying, right? You also have to have chairs for if Meemaw comes in there, Meemaw got a bad
Right.
hip.
Right.
we're gonna pray for you, Meemaw, that your hip gets better so you can stand with us. However, in the meantime, you need a place to sit. So I get that.
And even then, I know a lot of meemaws, the seasoned saints will stand.
Yeah, they
They
will.
surely
There's
will.
Out of reverence.
they carry a reverence
Yeah,
in
yeah.
worship where
They
it's just
do.
like, I'm not sitting, like I'm not getting comfortable.
Yeah,
And
that's
I
fair.
think in my desire to bridge generational gaps, I think that's one thing that I really do honor in like the older generation when it comes to worship culture, whatever
Okay.
that is.
There's
It's
no
just
fear
like they're
or,
willing.
like-
Yeah,
Yeah,
like
yeah.
Like, they're not worried about nothing that's
Nothing.
going on around in it. They don't care how raggedy or crazy the
At
praise
all.
looks. They're gonna give God the glory.
Okay, so going with that thought, you talked about the generational gaps, right? Unpopular opinion about generational gaps, right? I think we like to bash the older generation
oh
sometimes.
my gosh, but they know way more than we do.
They
Bro,
do.
they know so much.
do.
And I think
not
like
where they're at. I know nothing. What?
we're
They're the
not,
trusted
and I
adults,
think
for
it's
sure.
so. I think it's so
my permission
true,
slip.
right? There are things that they did wrong, right? And
Yeah.
I think that it's important that
That we
we
acknowledge
recognize
it.
some of those things.
Yeah.
However, I think they did a lot more right than we give them credit for.
For sure.
And so I guess that's one of my unpopular opinions about Christian culture is like, man, I honor those people that came before us because without them taking the steps that they took, like we don't get to where we are now. Okay, so you mentioned like being online, right? And this is
chronically.
kind of what I wanted to.
I'd be
like,
on that app.
You're our like cultural thermometer. Like you keep your ear to the streets. You have like you know
24/7.
what's going on. You know what I mean? And so
Yeah.
I kind of wanted to talk like Christians and social media.
I hate it.
Yeah.
Like
Listen,
I hate it.
straight off the bat.
it
hate
gets real
it.
murky.
Right.
It gets
does.
so
The internets.
weird. It gets so weird. I remember
Yeah.
when I saw my first "Get Ready with Me" to go to church, and I was just like,
That whole trend was preposterous. Oh,
and now hear me out. Was I? Ooh, that word was hard, wasn't it? Let's run
Okay.
it back.
Words.
it's not normally a big word for Elmo. Sorry, y'all.
Words be
That's a
hard.
big word for Elmo. Yeah,
My mama made me study SAT words. I swear, y'all.
preposterous. Preposterous.
Preposterous.
Yeah. So like, I was one that did it. I'm not gonna lie. I did do one, and that was the last "Get Ready with Me" that I did. And I did like a "Come with Me to church" where I would like get ready and like I'm not talking, I'm not doing no voiceovers, none of that. But the moment I saw like underwear, I was like, "Hey, bruh, hey,
Nah, legit.
why you ain't got no
It's
clothes
like,
on?" And this is a "Get
where's-
ready with me."
And
to go
this
to church.
is not an
Where's the
unpopular
limit
opinion.
here?
This is
That's
the
put your clothes
standard.
on.
Where's the limit here?
Where
Wear your
pants-
sweatsuit.
Where,
A little
where your clothes
modesty.
go? Where your clothes go?
Women, wear your slips.
We
Where's
don't
the
wear
rub?
slips no more, girl. They don't know
No,
nothing
if
about
you're
that.
gonna do a "Get Ready with Me," cover up.
They don't
Put
know
a
nothing
slip
about no
on.
slips no more.
But see, now y'all are getting into like a
That's-
modesty question, and that's a whole
That's
realm
a whole-
of like
It is.
But that's basic, decent human.
true,
Human.
true. But then
Jesus, let
okay,
me
so
find the fine.
right.
Basic human decency.
but then you start talking about bathing suits, and I've had this conversation with
You
see,
have
many
had
of
that
people
conversation.
That's hard, yeah.
because technically bathing suits and your undergarments, it's the same thing. The same things are exposed, but then it's different materials used for different purpose. But
I can still swim in my bra, bro. Like, be serious. People do it all the time. Sports bras are real. Like, no, you just want a
I
reason to
swim
be
in a
able to show your
skirt.
body off. And I would rather people be
So?
honest about that. So, like, with it, if you're honest with me and saying I'm fresh in this walk, I'm new to this, I'm not gonna have the expectation of you
or
to
you're
have your
saying
clothes
I
on.
never saw anything, or I never knew any different. Like I get
Yeah.
that, right?
That makes sense to me. But people who have had consistent, you're perpetrating to this to
Like,
social
nah,
media
you know,
that this
you
is what
feel
you
the
do.
breeze. You
know you ain't
know
got
that
no
you
clothes
feel the
on.
breeze.
You know.
You tried on them little toothpick strings that
Yeah.
you
You
be
tried it
flossing
on
your
and
teeth
you
with,
knew.
and was
Yeah.
like, "This is the one. This gonna get them."
But even
Right.
like so I've had on the flip side of that, like people come and ask me, it's like, okay, well you want women to go swimming in full pajamas, like overalls or whatever the
nah,
case is.
you
I'm
gotta
like,
push
no.
it, no.
Right? But I do think
I'm
that
crazy
there,
enough to say
there's-
yes. What are you
there's
gonna do? What are you gonna do? What's up? What are you gonna do?
Because baby, that ain't for
Nothing.
me as a
There's
hot
me
nation
and my
woman of
jeans.
God.
It's not
Right.
right. Like, yeah, I mean, but same thing for guys, right? Like the hoochie daddy shorts. It's like, come on, bro. you It's a little too much. It's a
I
little too much.
used to be like, oh, look at those shorts. Now I'm like, bruh, hey, that's a lot of thigh. That's a lot of thigh.
I was just about to say that. I was like,
too early in the morning
men
for
need
this.
modesty too. I sure was about to say
Oh,
that.
for sure. We do. We definitely do. Like,
I can't wait for the male modesty conversation. You're
No,
skinny
let-
jeans.
it's a
Let's
Get rid
have
of
it.
them.
Oh, hey, okay.
That's a real thing.
Get rid of them. The skinny
Sidebar.
jeans got to go.
About the skinny jeans. Okay, that was a cultural moment. Okay, don't judge me with your judging eyes. I can see you out the corner of my eye.
I'm so glad.
The skinny jeans were a cultural moment, right? I'm glad we got rid of them because we used to wear skinny jeans with shorts underneath. Like, you know how
It was
uncomfortable
tragic. It's
that
uncomfortable.
was. Now, I think like so when you get into the topic of like trends, like fashion trends, all of
That's
these
so
different things, which I
dangerous.
I'm
think
sorry, I'm still stuck on the skinny jeans.
it's
I'm
okay.
trying to
We're
get
gonna
out.
move on.
I'm
We're
trying
gonna
to
move
get
on.
out.
We're gonna move on.
Fight it.
But like, how does fashion also influence the church, right? Because everybody's into merch right now.
Word.
Yeah.
We love merch. We love all of those different things, right? But at what point does it then become like a fashion statement? I get wanting to start conversations and to represent your faith. I'm all for it. Like, I love
I
it.
don't need another John 3:16 sweatshirt.
I love it. But at the same time,
I just don't.
I think that it becomes like showy sometimes.
Yes.
And I'm not like, I got all the Christian merch. I got all the T-shirts and all the things, right? But I think that's why some of these young Christian brands that are coming out now, it's like subliminal. And it's like, how do I start a conversation through my merch, through my Christian wear that doesn't then turn me into this like, one of the things I hate is like when people come up to me during service and they're like, oh, bro, the fit nice, this, that, and the other. Like, oh man, you always flashy, you always this, that, and the other. I'm like, that's not why I wear these things. Like, one, I just like the clothes.
Yeah.
But two, it's like, I genuinely like to
Representing
remind myself and to represent Christ, right? If I can put somebody else's brand on my body, right? That's free advertisement for that brand. Why
Right.
can I not be free advertisement for Jesus? You know what I mean?
Right.
So I think there's a fine line with that. Would you say?
In a fine line where?
A fine line when it comes like exploitive on behalf of the brands and showy on behalf of the consumer.
Oh, for sure.
kind of like God is dope.
And I think
Okay.
when I feel like when
Okay.
people found out about God is dope, I think they saw God and immediately was like Jesus. And then when they found out that
Not
that's not
the
the God that they were
same.
talking about,
Yeah.
people were like, and that's why I said, like, I can live without another John 3:16. Everybody knows it. No one, I would prefer you to be creative in the way that you're expressing the message and then give people the room to be able to figure out how they want to piece it together and give us the fashion sense that they carry. So I can kind of see when people are, this is how I follow these, I can't think of their names right now, but I follow these two twins online. And like one of the things they say is the Holy Spirit dressed me. And that's in like in every caption. And they literally pray like, God, what am I going to wear today? And I started doing that. These fits that y'all have seen me in the last 3-4
My mom's
months.
best friend used to do that. And she used to dress
Shout out to
as
the Holy
modest
Spirit.
as could be. But my mom's best friend really used to do it. Like, she involved him in everything. Like, okay, God, what do you want me to wear? How do you want me to step out of the house today? And I think that goes to another level of relationship, because now you're involved in everything. The same way that I'll ask my wife, like, hey, babe, real quick, do these match or am I tripping? Right? Like, you know what I mean?
Before you continue,
Okay.
they have a tendency of matching clothes.
Okay,
I
that's
finally
not-
get to talk about this
that's not my fault.
openly.
Yo, it's bad.
Openly, it's bad.
They're almost as bad as my parents.
No,
in that-
y'all's parents go
No,
crazy.
my parents are wild
down to the
with
socks,
it. Yeah.
G.
Listen, if my dad buys a pair of shoes, he's buying my mom a pair of shoes.
If he
that's
buys
If
a
my dad
tracksuit,
bears everything that he gets, she's getting. And you know what? I love
Right.
that.
May that love find us.
You know,
and see, now my wife,
When I move, you
she
move.
loves that. She
he acting
loves
like,
it.
he's
I wanna
acting
be
like he don't
free.
love it though.
I have
He
learned
absolutely
to
adores matching
accept.
shirts with his wife.
I've learned to accept that my wife loves to express in that way, because there's times where I'm like, we got to match today, and it like, she looks at me like,
Of course.
what's
Yeah.
wrong with you? Of course we're gonna match today.
Because basically, why did you just tell her you didn't like her?
Because
That's
honestly,
basically how it's received. And so it's like,
anytime
what?
that she tells me
we
it
can
was
match
my
today.
idea, you go, girl. But the moment he be like, yeah, I found this shirt and I thought she would like it, I'd be like,
Boo. Cause your heart ain't in it.
like,
Cause your heart ain't in
you're
it.
not in it.
The double standard is crazy.
I'm so sorry. I
It's
just thought
okay.
about you said when I talk about clothes and I talk to my wife, I was like, ooh, y'all match clothes, don't y'all?
They do. Amen.
I love that.
But really good. Okay. As we think through some of those things, we talked about, fashion and social media. We've also talked about cancel culture, right?
It's not real.
How toxic is that in the body of
Ooh-wee.
Christ? Like, when I think of cancel culture, my mind immediately goes to like, what if cancel culture was a thing in the Jesus times? And it was.
It was. Except for it
But
was
like,
more.
how did Jesus respond to those
Homies
things?
was getting stoned.
Yeah.
Straight
I was
up
like, it did.
stoned.
Me, like that's crazy.
Yeah.
Cancel culture at its finest.
At its
like,
finest.
Excommunicated from the church.
From
you
life.
kicked out
They-
from like.
like you can't
Yeah.
no coming back either until you get it
Yeah.
together. And
Yeah.
you gotta
Yeah.
vouch that you've gotten it together.
Right, but then the issue comes when that cancel culture is masqueraded as correction or rebuke. It's like, that's not the same thing. You just
I mean, but that's the issue that we're having today for sure. You definitely have all of these online Bible warriors who aren't plugged into local church, right?
Log
So they're
off.
teaching themselves.
Log off.
They're teaching like
Log off.
yeah, and
Yeah.
then you have them like going in using Bible verses out of context
100%.
to shame and condemn and unrighteously judge, because I definitely believe there is a such thing as righteous judgment. I don't care what nobody say. There is a such thing as righteous judgment, like correction in love, and I think that's the important thing, and that's why social media is so dangerous, because you have all of these online keyboard warriors who are typing from a place of bitterness and hate and
Unresolved trauma.
unresolved
Yeah.
trauma and all of these things, and not from a place of love. Everything that we're
Right.
doing for the kingdom of God should be coming from a place of love.
That's good.
So when you don't have that love, the love of Christ,
Yeah.
and you
Yeah.
don't fully have an understanding of what his word says in regarding to the context that you're trying to bring to the person, especially like if it's an odd or something, like
Matthew 18 is
y'all
clear.
just talking.
Take that ought to your
Just
brother.
not
Not to his
get it
profile,
off of the
not to
online.
his DMs, not to his comment section, not to his mama on Facebook, not to his ex-girlfriend on Reddit. Him.
Oh, Jesus read it.
Like,
Take
we
the conversation
to-
to the
to
person.
your brother.
and then
yeah.
you still got to step in between before you take it public.
Yeah.
Then you got to take it to
Tell
another
the-
person.
and not to mention the elders. Like,
And then
The
you got to go
elders.
to the elders, and then it can be public. Like, I
There's
feel like a
steps
lot
to
of
this.
steps get skipped simply because phones are quicker than having a conversation.
And people think that their online self is their real self. When in
It's
all
not.
actuality,
I don't even think my
you
online
wouldn't
self
have
is my real
those
self.
conversations
Like,
with
what?
people in person. My
No.
thing is don't type anything that you wouldn't say in person.
Hello.
Yeah.
Because if you're not bold enough to come to somebody with that same love, then you shouldn't be willing to say it online. And I think that's the issue that we run into a lot of times, right? But I think that, like, is there space to rebuke online?
No. I do not believe so. I believe that until it is proven that the steps ahead of time before bringing it public has been made, it should have never been public in the first place.
Is DMing the same as coming to someone in person?
No.
What if that person's 10,000 miles away?
Then
Because community, the definition of community has changed, right? You do have
Valid.
online communities now, right?
Good point.
You may attend via online. Now, I have strong opinions about being in
Unpopular
your local
opinion.
church,
Turn
right?
we
turn
can
these
definitely
church
get
streams
into
off.
that.
That's what we're gonna
Turn
get
them off.
to.
It was
Turn them
yeah.
off. Turn them off. Turn them off.
That's a whole
like y'all got
The live stream. Let's talk about it.
like turn the live streams off. And it's not because I've had this conversation on social media before, and a lot of people are like, well, what if I can't get there? Or most of the people that I am talking to when I say this, I am talking about people who are not willing to go to their local church and want to go to the popular churches that they see on stream, and they want to be a part of the next cool thing. Congratulations, you found it. Great. If you're not willing to uproot your life to go be a part of that actual community,
Right.
what are we doing? we're not making strides in the
100%.
communities that we're a part of because we're so busy trying to be dope on stream.
Right. My thing
I'm
is
like,
the
turn it
stream
off.
the stream has to
be sounding
lead
bad
you
and
to
you-
community. If you're not connected in community and you're just watching a church just for the sake of watching the church, right? Like you don't comment and engage with the folks that are there. You're not like, if you're going to be a part of an online church. I love online church. Love online
Yeah.
church.
It does
I'm not,
offer access.
It offers access, right?
Right.
But there are other things that have to be coupled with that. You can't just watch online and say, I checklist, God, I done it, right? There's no discipleship happening.
That's
There's
no different than someone just
community. There's no,
on Sunday,
It's
and
the
then
same
they
as
just
just showing
leaving.
up on Sunday and
Nothing
leaving.
throughout the week.
100%.
And I can understand if it's like a situation of like, well, I work on specific days, so it's easier for me to watch church than it is for me to physically go. Then my next question would have been to them like, then what are you doing outside of that?
Yeah.
What, because then it's also a question of intentionality. If you say you care and you really want to learn, then are you being intentional with your time?
Right.
Are you actively trying to go be a part of something?
A
And a
prayer
lot of
group, a small
people,
group, a
I
meeting with a
right,
mentor.
like a lot of people also think that you have to be confined to the church that you go to.
No.
I no longer attend Trinity as much as I used to. I go to a different church now, but that does not mean that our community stopped being community, that
Right.
we stopped being
Talking
in it
to one
together,
another
that
and
talking to one
connecting, yeah.
another. I still come to young adults because I love this house. Like, I stay connected because I'm intentional about it. So it's just like, I never really did understand that part of it, of like, if you're not here all the time, then you're not a part of the community.
Yeah.
Because that's not necessarily true if you're being intentional about being with those people.
And I think connections, right? What is the goal of joining the local body? It's intentionally connecting your life with someone else's life for the purpose
Pastor
of
Rodney, I don't like people.
becoming a disciple. I get all of that, but as Christians, we are called to people.
Thank
yeah.
you.
I
That's-
was just
We're
about to
called-
touch on that. I was like,
We're
you
called
can't
to
be.
people. And that doesn't mean that there isn't space for the introvert. I think
Right.
that introverted
Correct.
people,
Yeah.
that is your superpower, because the extrovert sometimes does not know when to sit down and go into the quiet place.
Right.
Yeah.
We don't
I
know
was
how to
having
sit.
I was having this conversation with a couple literally last night. We're going through marriage counseling with him. He's an extrovert, she's an introvert, right? And in his mind, I have the right way of doing things.
Right.
Yeah.
And so for her, she was like, I'm willing to go join a small group with you and to do all of these different things, right? But I told him, I was like, you can't just say that you have it the right way, because you're always used to being out and about and in spaces and around people, but you don't have that quiet time, that still away time, those times where you pull away from the crowd. And Jesus did a perfect example of this. He balanced the introvert and the extrovert, right?
Yeah, he did.
He would spend all day healing people, touching everybody, doing all of the things with everyone.
All day.
But then he would also tell
All right,
his
y'all, I'm about to
disciples,
head
hey, I'm finna go up on this
I'm about
mountain
to
and be
head
with
up.
my Father.
Yeah.
Because the quiet time is just as important as the community. And I think the issue we run into sometimes is, one, we think that showing up at church is everything that I need to do.
Right.
It's not.
Two, we think that I don't need to be around nobody. It's just me and my personal relationship with God. And both are so wrong.
Because
Very-
accountability is needed.
They're so
for
wrong.
sure.
Absolutely.
And there's more work that, majority of the work honestly is at home. I mean, we talked about this the other day. Just if you're solely just relying on songs that are being sung on Sunday and a sermon that someone else has come into the revelation of, you're just literally surviving
You gotta
off of
check
someone
that
else's
word.
revelation.
You gotta
need to
check
study
it.
for yourself. And then there's the whole key aspect of a personal relationship with God. Like your intimate time with him, you sitting at the feet of the Father, and
Yeah.
who he is to you, and what does that mean, and what God is speaking specifically into your life, and what you're supposed to be doing, and just experiencing him.
Yeah.
Like no one will ever be able to tell you how you experience God, because we experience him in so many different ways. We've had so many different encounters, right? So like you can't just go to church on Sunday and expect other people's hear other people's testimonies, hear the word of God from someone else's perspective, even if it is a God breathed, Holy Spirit led service. Like that's from someone else.
Right.
There has
Yeah.
to be something there for you personally, and then also the accountability.
Which I
Like,
suck at.
I'm
trying to get better.
It's necessary.
I'm trying so
Y'all,
hard.
like-
Because I recently just learned, I think I had a messed up view of accountability. I think I viewed it as I let people know what my issues are, and then they're the ones that are checking in with me. And it's not like accountability is a personal responsibility.
Yeah.
If you're asking someone to hold you accountable,
Yeah.
then that means when you bring something up and you bring it to them, then they have the right to check you.
Yep.
If you are going through a thing and they notice that you're talking, they can check you.
Yeah.
But it's not a let me go check on Brianna and make sure that she's alive and that she's well. If she
Yeah.
wants to come tell me that she's alive and she's well, that door is open for her to do.
100%.
And I will make sure that she's living
And
right.
it's also beforehand. Like accountability isn't I messed up. It's
Yeah.
hey, I'm feeling this way.
Yeah.
And
It's
before
the
I make
before.
any other movement, before I
It's
even
heart
blink,
checks prior to
hey,
as well.
I need to
Yeah.
talk to you about this. This is bothering me. Code word, whatever the code word is.
And I'm learning to implement that now. Like
I love that.
And I think that's just like the hardest. I think that's my hardest thing that I'm going through like right now today.
That's real.
Is being actually by definition accountable and being accountable for myself. If I said I was going to do this thing,
I gotta
then
do
I
it.
gotta do this
gotta do
thing.
it.
But I think that's also something that kind of keeps me from reaching out to my community like authentically.
It can. Absolutely.
Just simply because of now I'm kind of afraid of like, if I do this thing, is it going to actually work or is it not? And if it works, oh my God, what do we do?
But that is literally back to the garden.
yeah.
Like I really wonder what would have happened
ego
had
with
they
the
taken
garden.
accountability in the garden. Like what God's response would have been had they taken accountability. Right?
mean,
When you think about
Instead of
accountability,
Did Eve really
like
not take accountability? She didn't really got much to say.
account
so I don't,
of ability. What?
I don't think she didn't take accountability. She just kind of didn't have anything she could say.
It was yes,
Adam
and it
was
was
the
it was the
one that-
deception, right? I think that she knew.
Something
'Cause it
went
didn't
right.
say-
She knew, right?
Eve said, "Let's go hide." It said they. So I mean, equally, they both.
Both of them made a conscious
They both did,
decision
yeah.
to hide
Made a
from the Lord.
decision.
So there
Eve
was
just didn't have many words afterwards.
Yeah, so I think that the word accountability, able to take account, like you're assessing yourself. You're taking account for your heart posture prior to. You're taking account for the feelings. You're taking account for your spiritual growth. Right. You're not putting the onus on someone else to grow you spiritually. You're doing it in community so that people know where your process is and what it requires is vulnerability.
Right.
Right. And we've talked about this before. It's like vulnerability is not the same as transparency. Transparency says, look at my scars.
I've always said
Right.
that transparency is being able to talk about the thing that happened. Vulnerability is being able to talk about how you feel about it and how it affected you. And so like I've always been very transparent.
Yeah.
Like I can talk about literally anything. If you ask me what you did 2 days ago, I will tell you.
Yeah.
But then if I told you what I did 2 days ago and then you asked me, well, what made you decide to do that? Like why did you feel that you needed to? Then I'm going to lash out
Right.
and shut down because what do you mean? I have to tell you how I feel?
Yeah.
Absolutely not. But no, it's healthy.
But
You
I,
need to-
I look at vulnerability as transparency is allowing things to be seen. Vulnerability to me is allowing things to be touched.
That's good.
So let's touch on
It's
this.
an access
this
thing,
yeah,
for
it's an
sure.
access thing.
Yeah.
Let's touch on this thing. Yeah, I get that you're
Very
talking
please
about
don't
it.
touch me.
Now let's actually go a little bit deeper.
Yeah.
Like let's go a little bit deeper in this thing. And so I think that that's very, very crucial, especially when you're talking about church culture and you know what I mean, like building godly community, building godly relationships. Like, and this is something that I think that young people really, really desire is nobody wants fake anymore. People want authentic community.
This generation
right?
is hungry.
They're
for
hungry, right?
authenticity.
And a lot of them have had the Instagram friend groups or the social media TikTok friend groups that it's like, oh, we're gonna go take trips, or oh, we're gonna go do this, that, and the other. But really, the friend group is just it's shallow.
yeah.
And what they're really wanting is, I need somebody that really will check me. I need somebody that really will check to make sure that the things that I said that I want to do, they're really gonna hold me to those standards, or they're gonna check and make sure that I'm holding myself to those standards, right?
And what's
So,
crazy is though, for me, my most shallow relationships are at church.
Yeah,
By far.
easily.
Like
No, that's real.
because we've failed in the area of discipleship.
Yeah,
very much so, yeah.
100%.
I think we failed in the area of discipleship, and we've turned church about a service more than about the community of people, and not just community, because I think that you can do community without depth. You can have community without intention.
Yeah.
But making disciples requires close proximity. It requires the deep work. It requires really, really
Peeling
getting
back them
in tune
layers.
with those folks. Peeling back the layers. Ogres
Yeah.
have layers. Onions have layers.
Please.
Am I an ogre? No. Do I have layers? For sure.
Yeah. You know,
So,
cakes have
it's good.
layers too.
Cakes have layers.
Cakes have layers. Parfait maybe
Dips
the
have
most.
layers. Please.
I love it. I love it. I love it. Okay, this is really, really good. Okay, I want to touch on something real quick.
What's up?
I don't know how we're doing on
I
time.
was like,
but,
are we?
okay.
I don't know math. What?
Okay, here we go.
Slay. He
Here
said
we go.
15.
Y'all ready? Jackie Hill Perry.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
get
No,
into
we're
it.
not.
Uh-huh.
Get into it. Come on.
Okay.
Oh my gosh. We're not talking
So
about
you got to tell us, like, how did this come about?
Give the
Like,
people
going
what they
viral,
want.
being on
Ooh,
a track,
I should
going
walk
out to
this room.
perform, like all of the things. There's so
Oh
many
my
things.
Can we start from the
Gosh.
beginning? Can we start from the rap? Christian rap is boring. Christian rap is boring.
Yeah. So
I
tell
am
us, like,
fighting.
what happened?
I need to.
Bro. This is why I asked, what is we talking about? What is we talking about? Because what? Yeah. That's so weird. I'm still getting used to like acknowledging that it's real.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I'm on Jackie Hill Perry's album Blameless.
Fire
I'm one of
album.
the what are they called? Voiceovers or voice bites or sound bites at the end of the chant. Well, not one of. I am the sound bite at the end of chant. And so what happened was I was just out and about. I love to drive. I love to listen to music. And Jackie had just dropped her her 3 singles from Church Kids. And it was like a cute little EP, just 3 songs real quick. Or maybe 2. I'm not really sure. But I was like, oh, let me listen to this because I have not heard it. I am literally maybe 3 years removed from the club, if I'm being honest.
Okay.
Like I still got that ratchet in me. And so when the beat calls for it, my hips are gonna move. A twerk made
She
commit.
said,
Shakira.
Shakira.
They don't
Do you
be
hear me?
lying.
The hips don't lie.
Please.
But you know the devil does. And so I'm trying
Facts.
to be better.
Very good.
And so when I was listening to the songs, I was like, hold on, like,
You got a little.
and I was like, keep it together. And so then I decided to talk about it on the internet.
Come on, self-control.
I do a lot of car rants. And so I just get on my car and I rant on my story. And so I was ranting about how people say that Christian rap is boring when the beats, the lyrics, like the intentionality, the creativity, like it is so lively, it's so lit. And I think people say it's boring because of the content. And it's just like, even
What
if
they
you
know
didn't
rap to be.
know,
Yeah.
or even what you know rap to be. But if you know rap, then you know that they rapping for real.
Yeah.
Like they're
Rhythm
Jackie
and
has-
poetry is what rap stands for
Yeah.
those that don't know. Rhythm and poetry.
It be rhythm and poetry and
My name is Brianna, and I did not know.
Rhythm and poetry is where
I
rap
didn't know
came from. Learn
that's
your
what
history.
that
Rhythm and
meant.
poetry.
All right.
So technically,
hip hop.
David was a rapper, but I'm gonna leave that alone.
Oh, he was
He
the Drake of the
was.
Bible for sure.
Drake is great.
No,
of the
he was the
Bible
Drake
is-
of the Bible for sure. Party Next Door, which one?
please.
But like, which one?
No.
He
Cut
bad. He had it bad. He had it
Party
bad.
next door is crazy.
He was the Party Next
He
Door
did have
of
it bad,
biblical
but
times.
that's insane.
But he had struggles.
Crazy.
I thought about
He was fighting for his life.
he was fighting for his life, and the reason I thought about that in the middle of a random upper room service one at 5:00. I was just sitting and we were talking about David in the upper room, and I looked at my friend and I said, David is definitely the Drake of the Bible. And mind you, people are getting slain, tore up. Okay.
That was your revelation.
And
Your
that's what I
revelation.
was like, huh, that's
Oh, God.
interesting. Anywho, but no, I really think that Christian rap today is something different, and it hits different, and it really is for this generation. And so I was just talking about it, and I was like, Christian rap is boring. Christian rap is boring. Christian rap, shut up. Like, sorry ears. But I like said it really hard, and so I ended up tagging Jackie in it, and she reposted it. And she simply just laughed at it. And so I followed up the story in her DMs, and I was like, you can use this in your next album if you want to. I don't mind. I didn't know
Did you think she was actually going to use it?
No, because I didn't know she was in the actual studio.
Fire.
Like, I had no idea. Nobody knew she was in the studio. She was off the internet for 6 months. She was gone. And so I didn't know what she was doing. I was just over here. I believe in shooting my shot. I don't care who you are. Like, you going to know who I am. Or at least so when you meet me, you going to remember, oh, you that girl from, yep, that's me. And so she just laughed at it. And that was the end of that. Didn't really think anything else. A couple days later, I get a DM from the producer on the album. He's like, hey, this is Ace from Reach Records. Jackie told me you da-da-da-da. Huh? He's like, if you can send me your surprise. Can you send me your email so I can send over the paperwork?
Paperwork is crazy.
Contract, NDA, huh? I can't talk about this?
Girl.
Like, I'm blown. Like, my mind... I was just so overwhelmed. And so I told as many people as I could before I had to stop talking about it. And so I literally told the 4 most important people to me. I told my mama and I told 3 other people. And I was like, this is what's going on. This is insane. I don't know if it's going to be a thing, but supposedly this is what's happening. And so a couple weeks go by. And they had to have been finishing production on the album by the time they were like, bringing my sound on. And so a couple weeks go by and then I get an email. Hey, here's the track.
Okay. So what? Like from there, how did we end up being like flying out to a show?
Okay. Yeah. So album comes out, things are great. People hitting my line, which was so wild. And I just remember when are we cool? I'm sorry. I get distracted like real fast. Oh, I got to talk quickly. Okay. Her. So I get distracted really bad. And so when the album came out, people were just like talking to her in the comments, like, you got to go on tour. You got to go on tour. And I was one of them too. I was like, you have 3 albums now.
I was one of them.
Like you have enough content to be able to go on a tour, honestly. And so then she announces that she has a one night only concert. And so I was like, I'm gonna try to go. I didn't reach out to nobody. I just kept up with the tickets, tried to see if I could get there, kept up with flights, sold out really quickly. So I was like, I'm not going. Cool. But then in my heart, I was like, I really want to go. And so I just prayed. I was just like, Lord, I'm really grateful to be on this project. I'm really grateful to know this woman. I'm really grateful to have this opportunity. And if you see fit and if it's in your will, please help me get there. And I ended it by saying, your will, your bill, because I can't pay for it.
Come on, Faith.
That's it.
So
your will, your bill. And then she announces that she's doing a second show. And I was like, oh, shoot. So I post on my Instagram story again. You guys, just post stuff. I'm telling you, just put it on the story. And so I post on my Instagram story again about the second show dropping. I was like, y'all, we're going to try to get there. We're going to try to figure it out. To the people on my story, she DMs me, hey, are you going to be at the show? I just want to make sure you're cool. Part of me wanted to be prideful and just be like, oh, yeah, I'm going to be there. Don't worry about it. I'm going to figure it out. I'm going to start a GoFundMe. That would have been me. You feel me? Crowdfund. Get a little special offering at the church. Reach out to some people I know. But then the Lord was like, just be honest, bro. Just be honest. And he be talking to me like I'm a young kid. I'd be like, okay. And so I just told her, I was like, the only thing that's really stopping me from being able to go is being able to pay for my flight and my hotel. Other than that, I can afford a ticket. That's nothing. And she was like, resend me your email. We'll take care of it. And so that's how I ended up getting flown to Atlanta for the show. Next step. Again, I'm posting on my story. 3 days before the show, I put a countdown, and I'm rapping Northside. It's the song before Bounce. Southside, Southside.
Sorry.
And so I rap. I'm just lip singing. I'm not even lip singing. I'm literally rapping the song in my car on my story with the countdown because I'm so excited for this concert. Like, I can't believe this is happening. I hadn't told people that I was going yet. Like, I was just so excited. And then at 10:48 a.m. Texas time,
come on,
I get a DM.
Yeah.
Mind you, I'm in a classroom full of 8th graders because I'm a substitute teacher. And it says, hey, Project Pat is not going to be there. Do you want to rap his verse on Saturday? Real question. I threw my phone on the ground, I'm pretty sure, when I saw it. And like all of my kids were like, Miss Brianna, are you okay? And I was like, no, I'm not. Somebody really cool just asked me to do something really cool. And so they encouraged me really bad. I love my students for that. And And then I reached out to the people I consider my board of directors for all life decisions.
Come on.
I believe that
Everybody
everybody
needs
should
a board
have
of
one.
directors.
We all. I'm about
Very
to add a
good.
That
seasoned
accountability.
saint to the board of directors. So if you would like to put your application in, holler at me. And so I reached out to them and I was just like, this is what's going on. I don't know what to say. And they were like, what do you mean? It's
Girl, you
literally
better
made
do
for
it.
you. And so I did it and I
If
got
we
to
can-
rap.
I don't know if we can
That's a
post the
word.
clip. If we
That's-
can post the clip, I would love to do
We
that.
would
but-
have to.
For
but-
sure.
Yeah.
Come on, Brianna. Yeah. Jesus died for my sins, took my pride, took my place. Yeah. So no punishment in hell I had to face. Yeah.
There's something that we always do with all of our folks,
Oh
right?
gosh.
It's a who, what, why, okay?
Jesus.
If you could ask any person a question in the Bible, from the Bible or from history, who would you ask? What would you ask them? And why would
And
you ask
why?
that question?
Ooh, who,
Tell us.
why? Who, what, why? And it don't have to be biblical.
It don't have to be biblical.
It
You
could
can
be
go history.
anybody.
You
I
can
can
go
go
history.
history.
Yeah,
It's dumb. Is that okay?
that's fine.
Michael Jackson,
Okay.
why did you get that monkey?
Mm.
Simply because it is scientific.
It's the
that,
details.
Like scientifically, everybody knew that apes, monkeys, period, don't really rock with humans for real. Until they will
Okay.
turn on you. And so I would really
So
want
where
to
did
know
the bubbles come from?
where did bubbles come from, and how did you get there? Like, how did you get to that point? Like, what really happened up here to be like, you know what?
That's the
monkey
one question
me.
you asked Michael Jackson.
Specifically, yes.
Out of
I feel
all
like
the
I got
questions, I
five
would
Because he could
questions.
Michael
have done,
Jackson.
he could have done any animal. Like he could have had a pack of dogs. He could have had a litter of cats.
I mean,
tiger.
He coulda had a tiger.
Didn't he have a whole safari?
I think
he had a
did.
safari,
I
but
think he had
my
a whole,
question
like,
is,
Neverland
why was
or something like that.
Bubbles your choice as best friend? Like
Because animals treated him better than humans did.
that's true because Ben is about a rat. So
He was
That's
not
very
loved
true.
well.
that is true.
Very true. Ben was about a rat.
Ben was about a rat, so I would ask him
Ben
about
was.
his love for animals and things like that. But my genuine one is God. What? Why crickets? Why? I genuinely want to understand
You know
the
what?
ecosystem.
Why mosquitoes?
I just want to understand the
There's no
ecosystem.
reason
I
for
want to
them.
understand
I
his
hate 'em.
mindset behind.
I don't. There's
Creating
no reason for
this-
mosquitoes.
Y'all talking about
I don't
mosquitoes,
see
and
it.
I'm thinking about roaches. But
Okay, but see, roaches
hello.
break stuff down.
Oh,
like in the
Lord.
wild, they tear stuff down. They
Alright.
they serve a purpose.
And that's our cue. Wrap it up.
There's no mosquitoes. Okay.
Wrap it up.
he
He
All right.
gave us science
Thank
on
you
roaches.
guys so much. We appreciate you guys for checking in with us at the Asking for a Friend podcast. Remember, always send in your questions, anything that you would like to ask the panel, the two of us, or whatever guest that we have on. Again, we love you guys. Thank y'all so much. Follow us on social media. Like, comment, share, subscribe, and we'll see y'all next time.
See you soon. Bye.